Roll the intro. Really quick before we get started, I want to let you know that right now AntiGravity is having their biggest sale of the year. It's currently Prime Day, so right now you're going to get 25% off of an AntiGravity A1 and also 20% off of all of their accessories. So you can save like $480 or something like that, and the first 10 people who click the link down in my description are going to get a free flight battery along with their purchase. So link in the description. This video is sponsored by AntiGravity. You probably already know that. Link in the description. Here's the video. So this is the AntiGravity A1. It is a drone that I've made not one, but two videos about already. And part of this is because AntiGravity opened up a whole new product category, and it's been changing and developing over time. So in this video, I want to share with you what it's been like living with the A1 as my only drone, but I also want to showcase a lot of the new features that have come via software updates, and then I want to tease you a few new hardware and software accessories that are coming very, very soon, because they're very cool, and they open up a whole bunch of new functionality for the A1. So that's this video. A quick editor's note while I'm out for a little walk. If you don't already know what the A1 is or what a 360 drone is, for starters, watch one of my previous videos. They go much more in depth. But also imagine a 360 camera like the X5 had wings and could fly. There you have it. It's a drone that sees everything. Super cool. Back to the video. This is the whole video. Got it. Did you just drink it?
Yeah.
It tastes like if water was not quite right. A little while back, I was out in Maui with my friend Matt.
No, don't put me on.
Who is a fantastic cinematographer. He does a lot of aerial footage, a lot of surf footage. And I had him take me around to a whole bunch of different known and unknown spots on the island to try and see what I could shoot with the A1. And while it was an excellent trip, it was not optimal weather.
There's a flooded road reported ahead.
Well, that's not good. Right before I got there, they had had their biggest storm in like 1,000 years. And while I was there, the forecast was raining non-stop, which if you've planned a trip hoping to film aerial footage, you'll know that's not good. However, and I think this speaks really well to the versatility of the A1, what was cool is that we would get, maybe 10-minute windows where the rain would stop or there would be a little opening in the clouds for a little bit of sunlight. And in those 10 minutes, we would take the drone out and fly, knowing that we would get far more options in post than what would be normally available to us with a regular drone. Because if I was flying a standard, I don't know what to call them, if I was flying a standard drone in this situation, I would send it out and I would get 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, and I'd have to land it because the rain had rolled back in. But with this, I do maybe 1, 2, 3 flight paths, and each of those flight paths gives me countless different compositions to choose from. Not to mention, it's really easy to mess up the specific camera move that you want in a drone flight if you're not an expert. Heck, even if you are an expert. However, the A1 makes creating really smooth and fluid pan and tilt and follow actions because you're doing it in post. All right, let's get this stuff dry. I feel like that was probably not the best of situations for it, but very cool. And I think this makes a good segue for us to talk about some of the new software updates that have come in the last couple of months that make flying this a heck of a lot easier.
Gonna do that again?
When the drone first came out, it used these 2 front-facing sensors as its main obstacle avoidance system. The new firmware update that came out over the last month or 2 has updated that system significantly. The A1 is now not only using those 2 front sensors, but it's using both of the lenses as well to create a 360-degree obstacle avoidance system. It's now able to understand its surroundings and then intelligently navigate around things.
Seems like it's working great, honestly. Wow.
So in the past, if you were, for example, about to run into a branch or a garbage can or something, the drone would go me, and it would come to a stop. However, now in the headset, you can select the obstacle avoidance behavior. So you can have it do stop, no obstacle avoidance, or you can set it to bypass. So if you imagine the drone's flying forward and it sees an obstacle, it's now gonna go up and over it, and it's gonna do intelligently bypass it to keep going. And now this feature is really helpful for a number of reasons, but a big one is if you're using the drone in its tracking mode. If you've ever used an Insta360 360 camera and then in their software selected a subject, person, object to track the camera movement, this does that in real time while flying. So now with the 360-degree obstacle avoidance and the bypass feature and the intelligent tracking, I'm able to have the drone track me, let's say riding around on my one wheel, and get all sorts of different angles while the drone is maintaining its distance and position to me, but also avoiding any sort of obstacles in its path. And as somebody who does a whole bunch of electric vehicle reviews, this is fantastic because then I can just select me riding the bike, the scooter, the one wheel or whatever. I can ride around in a safe area and just get those third-person shots that I normally wouldn't be able to get. Another feature that they've added that I actually haven't really had the chance to test yet is voice control. So you can say things like capture a video or take a picture, or take off, land, that kind of stuff. Simple instructions, and the drone's gonna say, yep, okay, I'll do that for you.
Ding dong ding. It is ludicrously windy outside today, but we are gonna test out some of the new software features here. And the first one I really wanna test out is time lapse. And I was thinking, because it's so windy, the clouds are moving pretty quick, which will help the time lapse. However, the wind is also gonna be trying to push the drone around. So we'll kind of see how it navigates these like big gusts of wind. This is that.
So what you're gonna do is fly your drone to a starting location, and then you can fly it to an ending location or any number of points in between. You can tell it how long you want your time lapse to be, how long the interval between each frame is going to be. And it's gonna say, okay, we need to fly for 15 minutes with a 2-second interval in order to create a 7-second time lapse. I don't know the math. And then it'll run the path for you automatically. You don't need to keep the headset on. You can take it off and just watch your drone fly, or I don't know, hang out with your friends. And then once it finishes that flight path, it's gonna automatically stitch all those photos together to create a time lapse. It's very cool. They've also updated the various automated flight paths that it can do. So they've now added like 5 or 6 or 7 more of those automated flight paths, which is great for people who have an idea of what kind of shot they want to get, but they don't know how to pull it off necessarily manually. This is going to be way more precise than you or I flying it, and just makes getting cool shots much easier.
Very cool.
I'm not sure who watching this video also watches Corridor Crew, but you should, and they made a fantastic video recently about using the A1 for Gaussian splatting. This is a process that used to be extremely difficult, but the A1 can now do in minutes. To make a Gaussian splat, normally what you would do is say, take your phone and take a video or a whole bunch of photos at different heights and angles of a subject. And then in post, there's software that you can use that's gonna stitch all of those together to create a 3D understanding of your object or subject or whatever. And then in post, you can kind of like move around as if this was just like a 3D object. You just drop your files into the web-based software and it's gonna stitch it all together for you. And what's very cool is they already have native integration with the A1 footage. So if you wanna learn more about Gaussian splatting, watch this video right here from Corridor Digital. Very in-depth, Very fascinating stuff. Very unique. Very cool.
Why am I on a dragon?
One mode that I've not talked about in any of my videos is their virtual cockpit.
Hey, am I on a dragon?
Which is not something I expected at all. So simply speaking, the virtual cockpit is a feature in the headset that's going to allow you to feel like you're riding a
dragon.
Very cool. Or flying an airplane, or holding onto a broomstick. It is very silly and surprisingly fun. They now let you choose if you want to fly in first person or third person. And honestly, I like the third person better. I got to fly a little like wizard or something around on a broomstick, and it was so silly, but also just a lot of fun.
It's really funny because as I descend and ascend, the Phoenix is flying differently. I honestly think a lot of people would really have fun with this.
I don't think it's just for kids, but I think kids will really love it. I think this brings up an interesting point about the A1, which is that this drone doesn't have a narrow targeted audience. It's really meant to appeal to as wide of an audience as possible. Now, obviously this works great for someone like me who's trying to get creative video angles and get types of shots that I've never been able to before. And it does that really, really well. But it also works great for families or tourists or anyone just looking to experience the joy of flight. And I think that's really cool because traditionally, if you wanted to feel what it felt like to fly at all, your only real option was maybe a VR headset and like some type of flight simulator. But with this, you could imagine maybe you're out on a mountain hike or something and you see a ridge out in the distance that you know you can't get to. You can throw the headset on, send the drone over, and really experience what it would be like to fly there. I mean, not what it would be like, you're literally flying it there. And a year later, I still think this is one of the coolest pieces of tech I own.
Okay, Matt,
Yes.
how's your first experience flying the A1?
It was surprisingly easy. I thought I was going to get motion sickness.
You feel okay?
I think I'm fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, yeah, totally fine. So, and I can't play video games. And that was great.
Your face has got some,
Yeah, I got the goggles.
yeah. That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
No, that was good. That was fun.
As someone who's had the fortune of knowing some of the team behind this product and getting to see a little bit behind the scenes while it's been developed, I've also gotten a little bit of insight into the future of the AntiGravity A1. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of these accessories with me today, but I did want to briefly tease what's coming next for the AntiGravity A1. For starters, a lot of you have asked for a proper drone controller beyond the pistol grip, and I am happy to say that is coming. They are going to be releasing a proper drone controller in the near future. But truthfully, I think I'm gonna keep flying with this. I really like the experience of flying with this little like pistol grip thing, and I honestly don't miss having the dual joystick option. Another accessory that they're about to launch, they're just finishing the testing phases, is some type of tracking beacon, so that the drone is gonna rely on more than just vision to track a subject. It's gonna have some type of connection so that it can keep up with you. And I think that tracking beacon is gonna make my personal like EV filming a heck of a lot easier, because now I'm able to go out on my own with a really minimal kit, maybe just the A1 and the Luna Ultra here, and I can get a whole bunch of different angles while I'm filming, let's say, an EV review. Now, I haven't seen the tracking beacon yet, but it should be coming in the very near future, so keep your eyes out for that. The final upcoming software feature that I kind of wanted to let you in on is goggle-free flying. While I can't go too much into detail, I have seen videos of this feature working where people were essentially look at the drone, reach towards it, and like move it with their mind, which is really cool. So I can imagine riding a one wheel down some trail and I've got the A1 flying behind me and I decide, oh, now I want a leading shot. So I'll look back, grab the drone, place it in front of me as if there was like an invisible pole holding us together, and then keep filming. So look out for that. The A1 has got a whole bunch of stuff on the horizon, and I like that. I feel like every 2 seconds I'm like, ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doo. And that was very cool. Very cool. Very cool.